Today's Saturday, it's the 16th of July, it's 2025, and we're in Beaumaris, and well, they've gone off to do some other things, so I'm left to do my own thing. So as you can see behind, I've come to the castle, and it looks a really splendid building, so I'm quite excited about having the opportunity to have a look around here. It cost me £9.40 to come in, not bad, but I'm sure there's going to be lots to see. Well, now I've got out of the way, you can actually see this amazing building, and considering that we used to live on the island, I don't think I've ever been here, so let's just take a look around. Got a little bit of a guide. It says what to see at the Beaumaris Castle, and it asks me to watch out for the deadly obstacles from murder holes above, arrows shot through arrow loops, and a heavy portcullis when lowered. And it says, the greatest castle never built. Welcome to Beaumaris Castle. To cement its conquest of Wales in 1282, King Edward I of England built or refurbished a ring of castles in North Wales. Beaumaris was the last to be started, but was never completed. Work began in 1295, and most of what you can see today was built in just 5 years. The prosperous Welsh town of Llanfaes and its residents were moved to Newborough in the west of Anglesey to make way for the castle and its town. Beaumaris comes from the Norman French Beaumaris, meaning fair marsh. The work cost £14,500, which is about £6.5 million of today's money. The castle was planned to be concentric, castle within a castle, with 5 suites of sumptuous accommodation. Beaumaris wasn't finished because Edward's war with Scotland meant he had no money to continue building. In 1986, along with Carnarvon, Conway and Harlech, Beaumaris Castle was recognised as a World Heritage Site. So we're going to carry on and see what was finished, even though it wasn't finished. So let's go and investigate. I just love the stonework, I mean, that's what's impressing me. We're just walking by the side of the road. I've just walked by this road now to get here. So actually built by the English. So we just follow the paths now, and we've got to, in order to get into the building, into the castle, we've got to cross a bridge, and there, a splendid entrance. Got to be worthy of a photograph. I'm going to take some photographs as I go around, and as usual I just pop them on at the end. There's the moat. I suppose that would be where the portcullis would be, just up there. It's actually inside one of the towers. Heavy metal, not the music. Use the hammer to make a clanging sound. So we've got a hammer down there, and we're being invited to make some music, some heavy metal music. Well, different sort of heavy metal music. So this is the hammer. Bit dull on the thud there. What about this one at the end? Oh, we've got a sword here. That's my metal work for the day. I used to study metal work.
Mom? I think that's the blacksmith's tools in there, Oscar. Look.
So some of them have got steps and you can go up. I'm going to investigate around. There's no signpost to say where to go, where not to go, so stick to the paths, don't climb anything, the lady said. So that was the outer castle, and now we've got an inner castle. And what would perhaps have been more portcullis here. And then the inside, and this. Can't believe it's not finished, but it is so magnificent, it's unbelievable. Actually got some park benches here, so we can actually picnic bench. This is something that I particularly wanted to see. You gotta guess what that is. It's the master mason. Master mason depicts James St George, master of the king's work in Wales, and with details representing the tools and markings of his craft. This actual sculpture is quite modern. This is from 2016, but any masons out there will recognise the tools of the craft. And just looking up there, so you can actually go around the top, which I'll adventure to do later. Always warned that this is an ancient monument and there are perils and dangers. I'm not going to climb over anything, I'll get into trouble. Would have been another level, another floor. The floor has been taken out and was long since gone. And that's a fireplace. That looks like a corridor up there. Ways to get around at higher level. So in 1295, when it was built, as the building began on the castle, this massive square space was filled with timber and thatch and huts to house workers, 2,000 construction workers. When King Edward I visited that summer to check upon the work, he stayed in a temporary thatched hut here. The stone wall at that time would still have been relatively low in height and masked by timber scaffolding. The holes running up the walls were put log holes where the poles were inserted into the walls. As the wall was raised, the masons built fireplaces ready for rooms to be built around them. Castle walls were planned to be even higher than they stand today. The North Gatehouse across the ward was designed to have another story on top of where it is now, and taller towers double the height either side. When King Edward came for the inspection of the site 2.5 months after building started, rapid progress had been made on the building, but just months later the Royal Treasurer received a letter direct from James of St George and Walter of Winchester, the clerk of the works. Funds were running out, wages were not paid, and the perfect castle came at a cost. All this work done and then not quite finished. There's a wall that's incomplete, missing. This is the southwest tower. I'll do a bit of climbing here. And this is legitimate climbing. You're okay, I can do this. It's a bit darker as we go down here. Right, I'm gonna take it easy because I've got some steps. There's a rope to hold on to. Off we go. This is the first level. Come out here and we can look into the tower. See where the floor would have been. There's no floor there now. You can actually go through. Look out over the gardens down below. Doorway here. Oh, wow. This is magnificent. Down a dark passageway. I'm ducking. We don't know where we're going to go. Where are we going to come out? The arrow slits. Can't go any further that way. The way it came. It's remarkably well preserved. This is 800 years old. Quite a labyrinth though. Another little passageway along here. Look at this. I think this might have been a toilet. You never know. Another long passageway. Another one. Really, I think what it does need, some signs. Indication of what stuff is. Or what stuff, maybe they don't, well I'm sure they know what it was going to be. So that's the main huge square space. And then on this side, this is one of the towers. And a fireplace there. Would have been a grand room, that would. Another tiny little room here. Oh. This is testing the camera to the limit, I think, because it's very dark in here. But I hope you can see something. There's lots of little steps as well, so I'm going to be having to be very careful where you're walking. The lady was right as we came in. Just mind your step. Well, this is my sort of castle, I must say. Just have a look in the square, because we've come round a bit and you can see the big wheel on the other side. And I've walked right from down there, from that corner, all the way along this wall. And I can still go on. Come around, look on this side, there's another two doorways here. And that one goes to another tower, which I can't go into. And this one, I don't know where this goes. Another little room. They are tiny little rooms. Turn round. When we decided we were going to come to Anglesey, one of the things I said I wanted to do was to visit a castle, and I think this is exactly what I wanted to do. Oops. Now, get to a point now, you can't go any further. I might want to go in there, but there's no way for me to go now. So I can only go back. And back means going exactly the way I came. I think there was a set of stairs that right down at the end there. I don't know if you can see this, it's just such a long corridor. I think I need to take a photo. Let's go. It's nice and cool in here as well. The temperature's high 20s outside, really warming up. It is very uneven underfoot, so you do have to be careful. Steps here, so you need to tell me to be careful. Now, where do I go here? Around the corner. And now here, steps that go down and up. So I'm going to carry on up. Trying to carry on with tools. Another little side room here I can go into while he's. Right. I'm going to going up. These concrete steps that are being put in, so these are quite modern, so I can trust them. And I've got a trusty handhold here, and daylight is appearing. What are we going to get at the top? I don't know. So, quite a height all the way down there. Are we now at the Ramparts? Can't go that way, the sign says. We're now right on the top. And just looking down, we can start to see the shape. So Beaumaris Castle was built on flat marshy land. It's not limited by cliffs, rivers or hills. The landscape allowed James of St George, Edward I Master Mason, to design a perfect concentric castle, and this is exactly what James designed: a high set of walls and towers inside another set of walls and towers, providing a killing ground between the two. Another set of walls and towers providing a killing ground between the two, and then from above Beaumaris it is symmetrical. So the castle is really a fortress palace, similar to Carnarvon, with sumptuous suites of living quarters in the inner ward. 5 were planned, but it was no soft touch for attackers. The gatehouse houses were designed to have multiple doors, portcullises and drawbridges. Even the toilets were well thought out, placed in pairs. There are 16 accessible from the wall walk, including some behind you, and another 16 from inside the walls. These were ventilated and each had its own door to ensure privacy. Can you believe that? The inconvenient truth was that in 1306 some roofs were missing and the drains were blocked. Let's go and have a walk along the ramparts. So there were toilets. I thought there were. We've seen down that side. This side is like the unfinished parts, really. We got up to here and then didn't get it all done. So there's some steps that go down there, and similar on the other side. Fascinating place, and you can start to see the countryside beyond the castle. There's another rampart down below that you can walk along.
apa kunci പഠിക്കുകയാണോ?
Beautiful scenery around here, really pretty. Some curious parts. so no access beyond. So there has in the past, you've been able to walk up there. We now have a barrier to prevent us doing that. We're going down now, so fascinating parts here. Sure, I think we can get in down below.
No, let's go this way. We keep on doing what you want.
You want to go right round the outside of it? That's down.
Right, so this is where I've got to go down now. So I've walked around the ramparts some way and I go down, so I'm going to switch it off because I think I need to concentrate on holding on and getting down. When I get to anywhere interesting, I'll put the camera back on. Got down to one little peephole which I can peep out there. And here. Again, this was another room. I think this would have been a rather grand room with a big fireplace in the middle. And no floor there anymore, but would have been a big, could have been a ballroom, a big dining room. Who knows? Right, just getting down to the bottom now. My camera's giving out, so I'm going to have to change cameras or batteries or something. Whoa, there's a harp. Let's wonder if it plays. Well, and he should have me playing some songs there, I think. So I just met these two young men playing some lovely music. Well, Dad seems to be playing lovely music. What's your names?
Max.
Max. And where are you from?
Both from England, Manchester.
Manchester. And who do you support?
Manchester United.
And you as well? Manchester United. Ah, well, I'm a Mallorca supporter. And you've got your own YouTube channel?
Yeah.
And what do you do on YouTube?
Like football and United and stuff.
Yeah. What's your channel called?
When you're spawn.
Right. So we've got to look that one up, have we? Yeah. You'll have to look at mine.
Yeah.
Anyway, another couple of days you might see this one on.
Yeah.
I'll subscribe.
Like and subscribe, that's what you have to do. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, what a chance that was. Another YouTuber who does his own sports channel. Got to like and subscribe that one. Let's just go into another room and yeah, I've seen many of these castles. There's all sorts of things growing. But beautiful. Using a different camera now, so I don't know if it's going to look any different. It'd be interesting to compare the two. This is the back to the GoPro, the one I've always done videos with. The one I was using before was actually a DJI, and the reason I've been using that one is because it's better in low light, or at least that's what the makers say. And we'll see now. I could see this room from above. The knight in shining armour over there. This is described as the grandest gatehouse ever built. So the North Gatehouse was designed to be fit for a king. James of St George took the designs from Harlech. It's another castle not far from here, which he'd built 12 years earlier and embellished, refined, enlarged them without the constraints of building on a rocky outcrop. The first and second floor would have been 5 windows each, not 3 like in Harlech, and the portcullises, when raised, would shut off parts of the accommodation. In the end, only the first floor windows and the window seat of one above these was completed. The towers and the gatehouse outer walls lack only their battlements and turrets, whilst the 2 inner corner towers should have risen to twice the height they are now. By 1306 the structure wasn't completed, and the portcullises hadn't been inserted, and the entrance was undefended. Just 11 years after building work was started, the mason and 4 labourers were brought in to block it all up. That's sad. Yes, great height to it. Another fireplace up there, you see. all made. Medieval carpentry, you've got the tools here. Don't think I'm going to have a go at that. Might break something. Big stone lintels. Well, I can't say how impressed I am. It's just really is an impressive building. And beautifully looked after. The only thing I would like to have seen would be some more signs around. No, we've got some signs, and I'm obviously reading some of these signs. There's another place we can walk higher up. Go and investigate that. That one looks as though it's blocked. And so this is like the outer area. So if somebody invaded and managed to break through the outer wall, they'd be in this area and be faced with this grand building, and well, they become targets for the archers and all the other nasties that might get thrown down on them. This is just one of the smaller towers. You see the moat through there.
So it's pretty impossible to get in. Unless we sneak you somehow. Why sneak me? Not actually something.
So that wasn't a way for me to get up, so I don't know if this... What's this sign say? I'm saying there's not enough signs. There are signs. No entry beyond this barrier. Please follow recommended routes.
You know, one of the castles they filmed the flying 360 in the first Harry Potter film.
So this gatehouse was destined never to reach its full potential.
Yeah, so...
The Llanfair's gate was designed to be a smaller replica of the castle's grand gatehouses with portcullis, arrow loops and a wall walk. But it was never completed, and the gatehouse passage was later blocked up. During the castle's initial building phase of 1295, only 10 of the 16 towers and part of the outer wall were started. This left the north and northeast of the castle without full protection. The remainder of the wall wasn't built, and the original 10 towers weren't heightened until a second construction period over a decade later. The change in stonework between the two phases of work can be seen as a horizontal line around the walls. The outer wall of the castle was built with over 300 shooting positions for archers to use, overlooked by the towering inner walls which surrounded the moat. This created a formidable obstacle. Absolutely it did. Yeah, anybody gets here and they're just targets for anybody looking through there. That's out to the moat, so that's the gate. More shooting positions all round. It's another tower. Which would have had another floor up there. This is a very dark passageway and a low ceiling to nowhere. That one obviously didn't take me anywhere. Another tower there. So the stairway there, closed for safety reasons. See how dangerous it might be. Narrow and dark. A tower.
They have it.
So beautifully gardened here.
So here is Beaumaris. We've got what we...
And yet another tower. It's my imagination, but I can't see a face in that rock. Not very high. Guided tour.
We had over 400 stonemasons that were actually doing the work. You had over 30 blacksmiths hammering away, actually making all the ironwork for it. So a huge effort.
Getting a guided tour, explaining to them everything that's going on, how it was built. Tools of the trade. Big budgets and countless craftsmen. On the 10th of April 1295, Edward I gave 60 shillings, which is about £1,600 today, to James of St George for the new castle. James was the master of the King's Works and in Wales and a master mason. From this point, a project of the huge scale started to evolve. Over the next few months, the payment of over £7,000, that's about £3.75 million of today's money, were made towards building work. Never before had such amount of money been thrown at a project in so short a time. The moat was dug, the trenches for the fortifications excavated, and the local stone from Penmont was quarried, partly shaped and carried here by sea to be finished and laid in by hundreds of skilled masons. Stoneworkers were brought here from all over England, and from places such as Gloucestershire, Lincolnshire and Yorkshire. At its peak in the summer of 1295, 450 masons worked in Beaumaris. By February of 1296, 2,000 masons, carpenters, diggers, labourers had built the inner walls to the height of about 6 metres 20 feet, and 4 of the towers had been started. Not bad going for 10 months' work. Another guided tour there. One of these grand entrances. Heavy doors, murder slots, portcullises and arrows loops. The designers of the South Gatehouse meant business. This passage to the inner ward of the castle would have been a death trap for Aeneas if it had ever been finished.
He did the.
I think I'm going to carry on walking around the outside though.
The key word is disorientation. They're making you lose track of where you're going. So this is the next obstacle. I'll show you this.
Was that a toilet? I always wonder where the toilets are now. Another level up there, so this would be a room, reasonable size room really. This is a place where they sometimes lock off because the gates are open, so I can actually walk up here. I can go up this tower. I might go down there later on. Let's go see what's up at the top. Top one level. Yeah, that's where I was just a few moments ago, but I can still go higher. Oh, I'm coming to the end right here. Stop and turn round, they said. Wow, we're high up. That's the inner castle. This is the outer castle. And I'm nearly as high as you can go, I think, on this outer castle. Can't go any higher. This is superb. Right, you're going to have to excuse me while I go down those spiral staircases. I'm not going all the way down. Oops.
Oh, go ahead, sir. You go in.
So I'm going to go along here, which is one of the ramparts. And there we can see outside, that's the moat. That's where I've just been walking, seen the different groups. And this is the outer wall of the castle. And maybe nearly 2 meters thick, maybe a metre and a half. Guarding the inner castle. This has got a label on it. This is the Gunner's Walk. I don't think in 1295 they had guns, but good name for it. And we've just been across there. That's where we've had our lunch. Beautiful views of the Menai Straits. The walk here, the Gunner's Walk that I'm walking on, it's made out of pebbles. So as you can imagine, it's extremely uneven. They just stick out of the ground. But you build with what you've got, don't you? You pick these things up. That's the town of Beaumaris. You pick these things up from the locality. So you just go down to the beach and you've got your stone. These other stones, though, it said it came from Penmon. So they would be shipped here. And, well, there's the sea. So they didn't have to carry it far from the boats. So I think I lived in this area for 4 years and never came here. And even as a young lad, always had a fascination with things old. Castles in particular. Right, I'm going to go down again, so more steps and more dark places, so catch you at the bottom. That's the entrance where I came in. I did have a look in there. So, follow the one-way route. So if I start this, I've got to carry on one way, and the only way is up. I must say, I'm quite enjoying steps recently. I think they're good exercise for me. I'm near the top. Oh, and what a view of Beaumaris High Street. There you go. Lots going on. There's a maker market over there, which if I get a chance, quite like to have a look at later on. But this rampart's giving us a really good view, which we saw from above and below. But I'm getting a chance to walk it. Can't think where it goes down though. It's got lots of ups and downs. So lots of watching where you're going. Tricky steps. Quite narrow. Again, maybe 2 meters thick, this wall. And there's the moat. Down again and up again. It gives us a chance to have a look into one of the towers. Along again, we've got another down and up, and yet another tower. There's built with towers.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations. See ya. Good job, Bowie. Bye.
But there's a good sturdy handrail. There's some steps here, but you can't go up. Sturdy handrail all the way along, and that's guiding me. So before I was up on the top of there, I'm up with the birds here. Down and up. Come now to a corner tower. And yeah, there was at one time a stair to use. This is one that I pointed out earlier on, said not to use due to safety. It just says carry on using the one-way direction. There's another staircase there. There's one that goes down and one that goes up. The one that goes down doesn't actually go very far, so I'm not going to go down there. And this, I'm pretty sure, is a chimney. And the cows in the field next door. Oh, and look at that. In amongst all of this stone that's been brought in, there's one green stone, and I think that might be a local stone. There's green is really indicating copper, Up on the north of the island is a mountain referred to as Paris Mountain, which has got a considerable amount of copper in it. So somehow the copper rock, here's another one, made it down here to be included. There's another little one there. Some more steps here that go to nowhere at the moment. Well, I'm going to walk all the way around the castle again. I'm doing a double turn. Again, they've made this out of these pebbles, and it's really, really uneven. And I'm sure Anita, who I think is wearing flip-flops, would not be able to walk comfortably along here. It's bad enough for me, and I'm wearing quite thick-soled trainers. We get now to a tower, square tower. Now the other ones have been round. This one's a square tower, and it's where we go down. Again, there is a set of stairs that would have taken you up higher, but there's another walkway down there, and that's been sealed off. We can only go down, so I'll catch you with you at the bottom. Well, that's me safely down on terra firma. Lovely walk around the outside there. Really enjoyed that on both of the inner and the outer castles there. Really something that's really up my street. Not sure how much Anita would have liked it, so she's probably better doing what she's doing. She's going to play with the children and she's going to have a look around the shops and things. So I'll make my way out now. I think I've seen as much as I'd like to. And really glad that I had the opportunity of videoing here, making this part of our trip to Anglesey, which has only just begun. I've only been here a day now, and hopefully got a lot more things to see in the next few days. So thanks very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So bye for now. Bye.
On the isle of fair Anglesey, where the seabirds wheel and cry, King Edward came. On the isle of fair Anglesey, where the seabirds wheel and cry, King Edward came with iron will beneath the northern sky. He laid his stones on marshy ground, his fortress bold and wide. But though the walls grew tall and strong, the dream was never tied. Beaumaris stands by the water's side, her towers watch the turning tide. A crown of stone that's left undone, but still she guards the setting sun. They called the masons from the land, from England's towns they came, to raise a ring of perfect might in conquest and in fame. Yet gold grew thin, the crown grew poor, the work was left to fade. A castle fair but never whole, a ghost of plans half made. Beaumaris stands by the water's side, her towers watch the turning tide. A crown of stone that's left undone, but still she guards the setting sun. Folk watched with patient eyes the stranger's walls of grey, for though he built a mighty keep, he could not make them stay. And centuries have come and gone, the king's proud hand is dust, but still the sea sings round the stones of power, greed and trust. Beaumaris stands by the water's side, her towers watch the turning tide. A crown of stone the setting sun. The Welsh folk watched with patient eyes the stranger's walls of grey. For though he'd built a mighty keep, he could not make them stay. And centuries have come and gone, the king's proud hand is dust, but still the sea sings round the stones of power, greed and trust. Beaumaris stands by the water's side, her towers watch the turning tide. A crown of stone that's left undone, but still she warms the setting sun.